Hi there, my name is Nether and today we're playing Factorio. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you're having a great day. When we last left off, we were doing this thing. We got to get, well, we have steel now, but let's get the gears back up and running and back into trains so we can at least get this little whoop whoop thing kind of working, where we have our trains going back and forth, picking up gears, doing, well, I guess not picking up gears at the moment, bringing iron to here so we could actually get back to making gears. So we will go ahead and do this and this, and as we said, we are going to be keeping this as first car is iron, or like we could even say first car is like the thing, the resources that we're actually bringing in, and then second car is coal. Or, yeah, for now, we'll just say coal. We might make that more modular as we go, or less, depending on how things work out. But let's just sort of assume we're going to be doing that. And then let's grab a train. So, we've got coal and iron plates currently in the train. And so what I'm going to do is set this to, be full or a little bit of time, and we could do like inactive potentially or whatever too, but I think just sort of for now, like wait a little bit of time just so that there's stuff sort of moving all the time, or at least, you know, at fairly regular intervals. And then as we build more refineries and things, that can maybe change how things are gonna go. I'm a little whatever, doesn't matter. I'm not gonna add yet another thing. Okay, so this has got to go to Helketh. And then we're going to wait for empty cargo, and then I think we're gonna go ahead and just wait. No, we'll go ahead and add a time passed on that too. And that we'll go ahead and wait for, let's say, 45 seconds. And then do we want to go? Maybe we'll go back to retired Navy vet. Do the same thing, full cargo or 50 seconds. Just so it can load up. Basically, more or less the same. And then we'll send it to Patrick Kelly. Nazasu. And then we'll go empty cargo. Actually, we'll give this even longer to wait. We'll go ahead and do 60. That way it can, like, it has a better chance of like actually emptying its cargo. I think it only takes less than that. Potentially. I don't know actually. Well, I guess it will always be less than that, right? So like if it only waits for 50 seconds if it only is loading for 50 seconds, theoretically will unload in 50 seconds. More or less, I imagine. I don't know. I don't know if those two things act identically or not, but I would imagine. Okay, so, and then, yes, and we'll just swap out. All right, let's have it do its thing. Oh, right. It's gonna wait there for a bit, and then it's gonna come here and drop all that iron off, and then what am I gonna do? Yeah, I guess what we'll do is just, for now, just because I really only have 2 ins anyhow, I'll just do this. And as we go, this will change because the amount of inputs will change. So right now, there's no real reason not to just have it be that number of inputs. Actually, let me do a little more. Cool, and there. Oh, there it goes. I was like, it's still not going. This is inconvenient. We'll just do this. Again, things will change around. So there we go. We're dropping off iron plates. Not, beans. I don't want this to be too messy. Dropping off iron plates, and that will get us, start getting us some gears, some more gears. And then we will bring the gears up here, and we're gonna do one of these little guys again, because these are pretty great. Little organizers, little balancers, so that we can distribute these fairly evenly between beans. Fairly evenly between 6 chests. That, and then that. Oop. That. Okay, cool. And then lovely. All right, we gotta start getting things like belts and undergroundies and splitters and stuff automated ASAP. Okay, we've already got gears. I love it. Oh, you know what I should actually do? Instead of actually sending the stuff from the trains right now, I should just I think I'm going to cut this off for now, just for a hot minute, so that we can just load those up manually, and we'll kind of just let that, we'll fill it up manually there, so we can start to empty out some of these chests so that those don't stay there. Okay, so we'll let that do its thing for now. Oh, and that's already empty. Cool. But now we're moving stuff to here. So that's cooking. I've broken this. Because of course I have. So let's go mess with that while we're waiting here. Oh, right. I forgot I actually did this wrong. This should be the output. We'll fix that. I'll fix it. Right now we're still kind of just making sure the train can go where it needs to go and does so correctly. Let's see, how do I want to do this? So I've got 4 things. So I want to... This gives me 3, which I don't really want. So if I do... I'm better at Satisfactory. Sort of. If I split this or merge this here... and then merge it again, or merge it back. So now theoretically that's 1.5, and then this side is like that. No. Definitely not. Maybe we don't split this and instead... No. Maybe we'll just do this. For now, we'll just have it instead of like... Instead of being weird, we'll just do 3. This line won't do anything for now. But I've got some extra stuff, so... There we go. Dunskies. Okay, so... Fantastic. Once I could build 3 more of these, and then that would more or less even out. All right, what's my steel looking like right now? Pretty sad. So, but now this is technically going. Now that's a little bit of an issue. So obviously we don't really want that to happen. Oh, right. Let me actually... Don't do this or this. So now it's just gonna go back. Woohoo! I should finish one of these lines so it can go the quote-unquote correct way. I'm gonna let this drain out. Oh boy. All right, well, let me go ahead and... I want to put these in the right place. Put this down, and then we'll grab as much as this as we can grab. English. Oop. So that we can move the rest. I could empty out my inventory a little bit, I suppose. No, oh, beans. No, what? No, what? Oh, I'm doing it the wrong way. There we go. I know how to play this game. He says, lying, obviously. All right, there we go. So now we can... Well, I suppose I don't need to pull all those up, since those do need to be there eventually. It's just right. That's supposed to be... Well, I have to rebuild them anyway, so... Might as well grab them. So I gotta flip them. I could probably... Yeah, I could swap them around, but... oh well, we'll just pull them down, just so I have some extra ones. All right, oh. Lovely. That's already ready to go. All right, what? Well, what? Oh, what? Weird. No, good. Oh well. So let's see here. Well, now we have an opportunity. Now, you know what? Why don't I just do it like this? It's probably not as efficient, but this will get me 2. And 2 is significantly easier to put into 4 than 6 is. Oh, nope. Just kidding. We're gonna do the same thing as we did before. Or on the other side. These should match up as best as possible. Okay, and then here we'll do this. And then send that off this way. And then here we'll do that. That and like that. Cool. I need these. Awesome. All right. So that's that. Then we will take all of this down so that we can reset this up. But now it'll theoretically evenly balance into, you know, I mean, it's not gonna super evenly balance out of the boxes necessarily. Probably didn't need to go this crazy on dismantling stuff, but this will just allow me to be a little bit more deliberate. You know, this probably isn't particularly balanced, but as we get up here, it'll be a little bit more balanced. So we don't have to worry about each of these things working at sort of different rates. Is that what I'm trying to say? I don't know. Who knows? We'll figure it out. We'll see what happens. that goes there, and then that can go there, and whoop. Why does it let you do that? Seems weird. Seems weird. All right, anyway, there we go. So let me grab my train back. Where'd you go? And now, ooh, couldn't remember if I was standing in the middle of the station track or not. So now we will go back to Helkith. We will do empty cargo. Nope, just kidding. Helkith we already did. We're gonna go back to retired Navy vet, wait for full cargo, or for 50 seconds. And then up to Benjamin Schellenberg. That's what we need to do. Empty cargo, or 60. These are, you know, probably not the best conditions and stuff to use, but that's okay. We will, we'll figure it out as we go. Since we're only going to basically 2 stations at the moment, I'm not super worried about it. Okay, they're still a fair ways away. They're a ways away. Don't know what's out here, which concerns me a tiny bit. But that's something that I marked to be deleted. These guys are still a fair ways away. But yeah, I think I'm more or less okay. Pollution and biter wise. All right, cool. That's doing its thing, but it kind of doesn't matter because we're actually not using it. And clearly these are empty now. So let me get rid of a few more. These go through them quick. Probably because it uses 2 at a time. It's pretty nice. So you can kind of dump a fair amount of plates in there. Okay, so we have, I think, sort of, you know, again, speed and throughput and all that kind of stuff notwithstanding, we sort of have a functional little loop of, you know, plates going to various places and getting used. And so now I think it's, I might tweak this. But I don't think I'll worry about this. This, I think we're gonna, this middle up and down, we're not gonna send that anywhere for now, right? Mainly because the iron's in the way, but also it doesn't really need to go anywhere. This will be the line we send straight down to copper. So at some point we're gonna have to advance through the territory here, tearing a couple of people apart. And also that line will get us towards this oil. We don't have to necessarily stay perfectly straight with these runs too, so we can maybe curve it over this way and then back or whatever. So I'm not gonna be super strict about the design of this. When we're going sort of for longer distances, they can just go for long straights without worrying. And since our traffic is directional, I think it'll be a little easier signaling in certain circumstances. Actually, probably in a lot of circumstances. If we don't have trains that are crossing each other, essentially, then, you know, obviously roundabouts, trains might be sort of vying for position, depending on how many trains are running at once. But for the most part, like, along these straight runs, not a lot, you know, as tracks cross and stuff, obviously. But beyond that, not a lot of situations where we have to, like, worry about cross traffic as much. Hello? Oh, dear. Oh boy. Yeah, what are you gonna do? All right, so these should more or less now be even along here. In that they're full. Which makes sense because we're cramming essentially three belts, well, 3 very, very partial belts down into 1 half belt. So I think it stands to reason that they would essentially be full, as you can kind of tell obviously here the way they back up. But now that's even, which is what I like to see. So, which is probably the way to do it normally. Actually, it's probably not super crazy, is it? If I have 6 belts, I'm just thinking of a way to do it with splitters. And I do this. And then whoops. That. That's probably relatively even, isn't it? Half of this one goes here. But all of this one goes here, and all of this one goes here. So yeah, basically you take these 3 belts and you cram them into there, and you take these 3 belts and you cram them into there. So it should essentially be even, which makes sense. So that would have been fairly straightforward. Here I was like, well, but whatever. It's fine. Anyway, okay, so I'm not going to worry about steel right this second. Obviously, we got to make things like more rails. That's a big thing, but I think I also want to start getting my real common stuff. So I think belts, undergroundies, splitters, inserters, power poles, those kinds of things, I think need to be pretty high on the list of priority here in terms of what am I building first. Cool. We could probably skip this station for a hot minute while we're doing this little thing. Man, it goes faster than I think it does. On some level, I don't want to just stand around and wait for it, but at the same time, whew, blink and it's empty. All right, so, and then of course we got to send gears places, but that's going to be part of it, right? So like, let's say we're going to do belts next. So we're going to need gears and iron plates. Perfect. That's going to utilize both trains. So if we're going to have 2 trains, I mean, I could use the same train, theoretically. I don't know if I would have to be a little bit more strict about my empty inventory or empty cargo conditions at stations, because, you know, obviously, if this doesn't empty, it can't go and then pick up gears. So, and I mean, that's kind of one situation right there. It did not leave empty. And which is fine, except, you know, and I could just tell it to wait for empty, but what if these fill? And, you know, like the whole system backs up, that fills. It probably won't ever back up because ideally everything will be running always. But if it does ever back up, then trains are just going to sit there and then the whole system's going to come down. So I think the better design would be have another train. This train is iron plates, and it won't matter if it doesn't empty. I can leave it having a little bit of a time or like an inactive time or something like that, and that way it can leave with stuff still in it, so if it does get to a station that is backed up and these chests are all full, it doesn't just get stuck there and bog down the rest of the system. So I think we're going to need another train, but in order to get another train, realistically, we're going to have to start signaling. But that's a problem for later because we don't even have a place to build belts yet. So I think that's going to have to be our first order of business, is actually getting a little belt factory going. And I think, let's see. Again, I don't really want to build everything just on a grid, but we've got all these nice intersections and I don't want to waste them. So I think what I'll do is I think I'll actually build it here. So we'll take this thing, our nice little track stop blueprint, and we will put it, I think it's right there it goes. I think it has to go because I messed this up, but that should be good. I think. Let me see. And yeah, okay. Yeah, there. At one point I was putting down blueprints and I put it, I think, a little too far up, and so these tracks couldn't connect anymore. So there is a way to mess that up. But we'll go ahead and send. We'll just do ghosts for now. And send these down like this. Cool. All right, and then here, so these will kind of butt up next to each other, potentially. Here. Maybe I actually don't want that. that might butt up too much, given how much space I'd like to utilize here for belt configurations. So maybe that doesn't work. Oh boy, it's just gonna be a big grid, isn't it? I don't want it to just be a big grid. Oh, that's one at a time, huh? Oh well. The whole point is I'm trying to stay away from big grids. But it's fine. It's fine. Let me put this back real quick, just so I remember what I'm doing there. And then, so yeah, I guess just here. We'll just build the belt factory here. I guess I could, no. No. Well, actually, here maybe makes more sense. You know, we've got these 4 quadrants here that have stuff in them. This is... Actually, you know what? I think I fully could put 2 things in one. Problem is, I don't know if I could get them, organize them into trains well enough. If I had, like, if you thought about each half being a factory, right? I could totally put, like, 6 or 8 of these over here, and then 6 or 8 of something else over here. And that would still sort of fit within this rail block. But if this is gonna be gears, then... So I don't know. I don't know if that's gonna work out. This got so much bigger than I originally planned. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. I at some point this isn't gonna. This can only get so big, right? So, because no matter how fast, you know, once we just start doing stack inserters and things like that, obviously we can start getting more and more output. But at some point, it's gonna be we're gonna be producing too much stuff. If we make this, you know, like, so if I take this whole chunk here and I just put, you know, 3 by 10 or whatever this can hold, you know, that might not be it. That might not be the number, you know, but at some point, how many items can the belts hold? How many items can the inserters realistically move into train cars? How, you know, how many blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. And I didn't make these quite long enough to theoretically put like another station here. That might have been smart. Or I could utilize different cars for different things. So like this could be belts, or we could switch it to like, or gears, or we could switch it to this being gears. And then this one is belts. That would be properly nuts though, to have gears go onto a train and then that train bring them back and unload them here to go into the the belt factory. So I think I hate that. So if I hate that, what are we doing instead? And I think the answer is just, yeah, 1 factory per station, per stop cutout. So this is gonna be belts, unless the inputs are the same. Maybe? I don't know. I guess this, like, we could theoretically make belts and inserters in the same factory, right? 3 ingredients, 3 train cars, 1 for iron plates, 1 for gears, and 1 for electronic circuits. The gears and the plates go to make belts and inserters, and then the electronic circuits only go to inserters. It's 1 and 1. It's 1 to 1 in terms of the iron plates and the gears. So theoretically, I'd want twice as many gears twice as many iron plates and gears coming in as in grade circuits. But that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter really. So yeah, maybe? Question mark. But potentially. Then moving them will be a little bit of a pain. But hopefully all of these things will become less scary or less relevant as... Would they ever? I don't think so. I'm hoping some things will become less scary once we can send trains on demand. Assuming I can actually send trains on demand, but I think I can. Maybe it needs a mod, but I would probably install that mod to make that happen, just because that seems useful. But yes, so theoretically, once we have more train control in terms of like using circuits to do it, then some of these things hopefully will be a little less crazy. Because another thing I want to have coming from all of this, where we're putting stuff in trains and moving it via trains anyway, is to have a big old mall, a big old area where I can just grab stuff that I need for myself. So theoretically, all of these items will all end up in a little array of chests or a little something somewhere where I will sort of consider my little home base to be. And it'll drop off all of that stuff, and it'll just be available to me. It'll be like some of it, right? Some of it will come and be available for me, and then some of it will move on to the places it needs to go, and so on and so forth. But anyway, yeah, okay. I'm pretty happy that we actually were able to get this moved, and we've got this train doing its thing, going back and forth. It shouldn't go through here. That is not correct, so I should at some point finish one of these little runs here to see if it will actually do it correctly. But that is not a huge issue. It is functional, which I'm pretty happy with. So more or less. Anyway, I think it's gonna have to do it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. When I come back with more Factorio, we will get started on maybe a belt / inserter factory. I think that'd be fun. I might think on it just a little bit longer to make sure that I'm not missing anything obvious, or an obvious reason why I shouldn't do it like that. But I can't think of one, so it may be a belt / inserter factory, and then we will do all sorts of fun stuff. Okay, thank you so much for joining me. I can't wait to see you again, and I hope you have an incredible day. Okay, bye! Thank you again for watching the video. If you'd like to see more from me, feel free to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell if you want to be notified when my videos go live. I'd also very much love to hear from you down in the comments below.